really appreciate taking the time to spend a few minutes with us. Obviously, we're really excited to have Connor, to have Claude and Gavin here, right? Yeah. So we're really happy that Claude signed on board with us. I'd feel bad if I didn't thank a few people here. I'd like to thank the board, Sheldon, John, and Larry for their support, and I'd also like to thank Anna and Olivia for their support and all the moves that we've done in the last few weeks. Questions?
Claude, was it a huge plus that you're able to walk to work?
That's funny, but I probably could. But it's something that obviously you think about it during your whole career, but that was the first time after the season, a couple weeks after, I actually had a thought and started thinking about it. And the more I thought about it, it made a lot of sense. And this team, it's just one thing that I remember from playing last year. They're just a team that you don't like to play against. They're a pain in the butt to play against, and they have a lot of character. They have guys that have a lot of skills. Obviously, a young team, but it's just something you want to be a part of.
Where did your excitement level go when you saw moves being made by the general manager, as an example, to break that game?
Yeah, there was a lot of emotions. I mean, you're nervous, you're excited, and then you could be scared, and then you start thinking about it a little bit too much. And the moves that Pierre was able to do the last few weeks, it's obviously helped my choice a lot, and I'm very excited.
Pierre, could you maybe talk about how this particularly came together and why you think Claude is a good fit here?
Well, everywhere I've been going in Ottawa in the last 2 months, everyone's asking me, "Are you signing Claude?" I can't go to the grocery store, can't go to the beer store, can't go to the liquor store, can't go anywhere. So, thank you. You pretty much saved my life with that question. So, for us, obviously, I know people are going to have a hard time believing this, but I remember sitting with Eugene in that year, February, and I said, I know one guy I want to sign in 4 years. I looked up when Claude's contract was due. I said, he's going to help us to that next level. We're talking a long time ago when we decided to do this rebuild. And when you get a chance to add a player of Claude's caliber, you just look at the package. It's the skill, it's the leadership, it's the intangibles as far as wanting to win. Someone that's had long playoff runs, who still, as of last year, was almost a point a game. He was on one of the best teams. He was the one player that I think a lot of cup contending teams were after. So to be able to have a player of this caliber to our lineup that we've already improved was just something that I think it excites us as an organization. I know DJ's very excited. I know a lot of our core players are very excited. I'm told that our fans are very excited from the reaction that I've been told that they're having, and it was just time for us to take this step and to show that we mean business this year, and we mean business for the next few years going up. The conversation was very short with Pat today. We'd like to sign Claude. He'd like to come. We figured out a few structures. We argued for about 5 minutes on structure, and it was done pretty quickly.
You mentioned right off the top the support you've gotten from the ownership structure that's in place. Can you expand on that a little bit more in terms of, it seems like you have more financial flexibility this summer than maybe you've had in the past, and was this always part of the plan?
It was always part of the plan. Both obviously the board who I've reported to, even when Eugene was alive, they've been great, as far as support. They ask questions. They asked him. Sheldon yesterday asked me some really good questions. I said, we're going to try and make a pitch for Claude tomorrow, and he's asking, and I hope you're not offended by this. He goes, is he Hall of Famer? I said, without a doubt. That was my answer. And, to add a player of this caliber was for us a no-brainer. And, they've been great support. And I got a chance to spend time with Anna Olivia at the draft. And I called them after Claude got done today, and they were very happy for the organization. I think all of them are, we've had a few difficult years here. And again, when you get that, a player of whether it's Alex, Cam Talbot, Claude, they're impactful players. Cam Talbot was an all-star last year. Alex DeBrincat scores 40 goals a year on a pretty regular basis. So for us to be able to do this was always part of the plan. I'm not going to tell you when he probably does remember the first time we met. I was a scout with the New York Rangers. We had supper at Eastside Mario's in New Orleans a long time ago. So he's always someone personally I've admired. When you get a chance to get someone of this talent to our organization, it's like a no-brainer. And the board and Anna and Olivia were of great support in everything we've done. But I think they're really excited about this one.
How much do you think he can help your young centers?
Well, I was talking to a GM who I'm not going to say who it was, and he said that when Claude played them last year, in the last 5 minutes, he took every draw and won every draw. So that's pretty good by mine. I think he's second or third. I hope I'm not off as far as face-offs. And I think when you start to play with the puck is better than starting it without the puck. So I think he'll be great. It's another thing. And I want to make sure I talked about it in my statement, is that how good he is. Like, it's the intangibles that people don't talk about that he brings to the table. And just talking to him after we signed him, he wants to win here. You hear that, but you feel it in his voice how genuine it is, and it's going to be the little things like that he helps. I'm sure, let's not fool ourselves. Brady's the captain here, but having someone of his leadership help those younger guys is going to help. It's not just on face-offs; it's every other thing that Claude brings to the table.
Claude, will you reach out to Tim Stützle at any point here? I mean, just to say I'm here and I want to help, or the other young guys too, not just Tim.
Yeah, I mean, when you come to a new team, obviously you guys talk in the league, a little bit who's who and what kind of guys they are. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to reach out to, I'll try to reach out to most of the guys, and most of the guys will probably be here in August. And, I'm a strong believer in team bonding and playing for one another and all that kind of stuff. So, but obviously I'm excited to see. I heard a lot of great things about Tim, how great of a player he is, and I'm definitely very excited to start working with him.
How good of a team, Claude, do you think this can be?
Sorry?
How good of a team do you think Ottawa can be in a year or two?
That's a great question. The pieces that Pierre was able to add, and all those young players had great years last year, and they're only going to get better. So, are we going to win the cup next year? I don't know. Probably not. I'm not saying we won't, but I'm just saying probably not. But it's something that we have a full year to build on, to work on our game, to get an identity. And I think when we do that, that's when we're going to start being dangerous. You don't get an identity within 10 games in the season. It takes a while, but when you start getting an identity and how you want to play and what kind of team you want to be, that's when you start winning hockey games.
Claude, when you were here with Florida, I know you didn't play in that game, but there were some fans that had signs up on the boards, Claude come home, those sorts of things. When you see that, how did that play into your motivation also, just that this city wants you here?
Yeah, it definitely played a role. I mean, I usually don't read Twitter too much, but it was good to kind of see the Sens fans just wanted me to come home and come here and play for the Sens, and it's always something that I wanted to do. But I'm just excited to be here. I wish camp was tomorrow and we can get this thing going, but I just gotta wait a few months here.
Were you ever close to signing elsewhere?
Not really. I obviously looked at other options, seeing what was going to be best for my family and myself and my career. And at the end of the day, the more I thought about it and all the options, Ottawa was my the one that I wanted to follow. So it's great that it worked out great with dealing with Pierre, and we can just look forward now.
Cool. Have you thought at all, Claude, of how much fun it might be to have two balanced power play units? Because right now it looks like a legitimate top six here. Like you guys might be pretty balanced over two units.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have two good power plays, 1A, 1B, and whoever's clicking, whoever's going at that time, you put them on. I mean, it's a healthy competition. Motivates guys to don't take it for granted. And at this point, you look at the lineup, I don't think we have a choice to have two power plays. So it's going to be, I think it's good to, like I said, a healthy competition. But also it depends on who has chemistry with who. And I think that's one thing. You can have two great players, but they just can't play together. So that's something that coaches and players were just going to have to kind of deal with.
We'll take one or two more on English here.
I know at the exit meetings, you said Brady Tkachuk came to you with a list, right? That had kind of been compiled from
Yep.
players within the room about kind of some wants and hopes. Was Claude Giroux on it, or at least the idea of trying to build a team that would attract?
I'll let Brady answer that, but I think Brady's pretty happy. We'll let him speak for himself, though.
What next, Pierre? Any movement toward another defenseman or any other moves that you have planned?
Obviously, we're happy about the moves that we've done over the last 2 weeks. We've always said, try to find me a team that's not looking for a top four defenseman, and there's not many out there. So we know what we have to do. If we can make the team better, we definitely will do that. But I think today is a day for Claude. It's great for our fans, great for the organization. I think great for him and his family to be in Ottawa here. His parents live close by. I think Mrs. Giroux is very happy. You told me. Yeah. So today is about Claude, and we got lots of time to talk about other things later on.